Because what is absolutely impossible is a world surviving with nuclear weapons, distilling of them, for generations, without something one day going very badly wrong indeed. So, we go for a nuclear weapons convention. There's already a convention banning the use of chemical weapons and of biological weapons. This is not to say that people won't cheat, but this is true of any law anyway. There are some people who disobey them, but if you have a system whereby you can say, okay, we are justified in acting because this is against the law, then that is of some value. Right, now the relevance of this is that we have a conference coming up in New York in May, in the spring. First place, New York, in May. And all the people will be gathering at the United Nations, the representatives of 180 odd countries that are signatories to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT. This was signed in 1968, or at least it first appeared in 1968, and Britain ratified it in 1971 or 2, I forget which. Ratified means it was accepted by the British government and Parliament. Most other states, all the nuclear weapon states, have ratified it, and there are only 3 countries of significance that are outside the NPT. That's Israel, Pakistan, and India, which are difficult to fit in because they have nuclear weapons, but they won't sign the NPT unless things are changed. Right. What we aim to do is to get talks started on a nuclear weapons convention at the NPT review conference. There's a review conference every 5 years where they all get together and shout at each other. This is what happened in 1995. It's not quite so exciting as it sounds. I've seen people sitting in that conference looking pretty heavy-lidded eyes indeed. The press gallery at the conference, and people actually leaning back in their chairs with their mouths open. But behind the scenes, and most of the important things took place in the corridors, as always with these things, there was a great deal of animosity, it worked out with no result. We are hoping to get a decent result this year. The Non-Proliferation Treaty has got 3 basic legs, as they say. A couple of minutes to go. These legs are disarmament. That is, Article 6 says there will be progress towards nuclear disarmament by all states, and that, in fact, nuclear disarmament is an aim and an objective. So that's written into the treaty. There is non-proliferation. It attempts to restrict the spread of nuclear weapons to more countries, but also it allows countries to have access to nuclear material for building nuclear power stations. And this is one of the weaknesses of the treaty, because if you build a nuclear power station, you've got the technology and the expertise to build a nuclear bomb, as we know very well about the suspicions with Iran and so forth.